Hello, Revernauts. Chief Engineer Rever, and we are back again, ready to land on the moon. And I have been thinking, because this will be the last episode for the week, I think we will call this the very last episode of the series. So I apologize to any of you that wanted to see it go forward, but I never intended for this to go past when we landed a man on the moon, and hopefully we can bring him back safely back to the planet. But if we don't, I think I'm still going to call it quits. So let's see what happens. And I will do one thing just to say, in my attempts to land on the moon, I'm going to F5 it so that I can then hold F9 and do a quick save, and so that we do, actually land on the moon. And I will try to edit the video if it's long or something like that, just so you guys can see the failed attempts. But I do want to make this the last episode. So let's come into here. And one of the other things that I realized, and can we see it? Yeah. When we talk about these other contracts, Mimbus and Kerbal, I mean, if we have some extra time, we might get chunk around the space, around Mimbus there. But let's see how long this takes. Evacuate the moon station, we're not going to do. Launch the Mimbus space station. Well, we've done that, and then we still have like days and days of time. Man-moon landing. And then the other thing I realized that I don't want to get into is this probe docking. It's very difficult, and even though I accepted the contract, I'm not going to do it. I didn't realize it was a probe when I accepted it, and that just makes it a lot more difficult. But in any event, we are going to try to get our man to the moon. So here's moon lende manned, and we need to do a maneuver at some point here. Where's moon? Well, let's fly in him, and we'll see what we're doing a little bit better, and then we can hit F8 and eliminate the other things from clogging up our view. There we go. So now let's come back over to here, and yeah, so we are just really past the point where we would have wanted to burn. So we should be able to go, like if we line it up like this, more or less, it's going to be a little different in another orbit, right? But we really probably want to burn like in this neighborhood and add a maneuver right there. And then we'll want to burn prograde. And that should, oops, slow down. There we go. Yep. We'll keep burning until we get relatively close. Now the other thing is I want to see, can we get close without burning so much fuel, right? See, like the later we do it, like you don't, like the slower we come in, even though it'll take us longer to get there, it will be easier to get out of it. So like, see, we could even slow down a little bit more and then launch a little bit later. But see, then we don't quite get to that same low orbit, which will cost us fuel at that point. So like the more you burn, the more fuel you use. So if we, yeah, see, we're just going to have to burn a little bit faster than that. Yeah, see that? Like, see how that gets us to really close? And I think we used less of our fuel. I didn't pay that much attention. It's not that big a deal. But okay, there we go. So let's set an alarm. And then let's fast forward around till we get to that point, which should be 24 minutes. Yeah, we can only do 50 times, but that's okay. It'll stop us before we get there. We can probably turn that off. Yeah, so that's a nice low periapsis. And we want to try to we don't really have any extra fuel. So I want to do things as gently as is reasonable for us to do. Come in slower, and then when we get out here, we're going to get into sort of a, whatever we think is like a minimal orbit without burning too much fuel up. Okay, so let's do delete. And yeah, we're pretty much pointing there now. So let's just speed up till we get a little bit closer. Let's go down to about a minute, because I didn't really feel myself having a lot of control. Yeah, let's turn this off. Yeah, so I didn't have control because that was on, but that's all right. It made me a little nervous. Okay, so we want to do a pretty accurate burn with a little bit of fine tuning at the end, and hopefully we can just really get this right. So let's turn on SAS, because why not? Let's fast forward a little bit more. We want to burn at about 12 seconds, maybe a little bit before that, just so we have our... It'll be fine. It'll be close enough. All right, so let's not hit the staging button. Let's hit the right button. Put my finger right on it. So we're just going to go right to full throttle. And this is probably pretty good. And we'll just try to stay right on that target. I got my finger on the cutoff button because I'm just going to cut it all the way down when we get close, and then plan on burning a little bit more if we need to. There we go. See, so what are we actually at? We're at, yeah, so let's burn a little bit more. No, come back here. A little bit more, I think, will get us, that's what we need. All right, stop. There we go. So what are we at now? Yeah, 15. That's even really closer than we would want. I mean, that's fine. That's actually might be really good. All right, so now let's set another, I think, oops, it's kind of laggy, isn't it? Yeah, you know what, can we... Add maneuver. Yeah, we really want to... You want to move that over like that. Let's burn retrograde just till we get into an orbit. Plus a little bit, but let's get it a little bit tighter than that. But I don't want to burn too much fuel just getting into the orbit, though we do have to, because it'll be cheaper to burn at the apoapsis and bring that periapsis in. Though we may be coming in kind of hot in a sense. That's okay. I think you're still better. I'm thinking that we're better off doing that. I don't know that for a fact. So there we go. So let's add another alarm. And we got 5 hours. So let's see if we can't do 10,000 speed. Nope. There we go. 1,000, 10,000. Okay, so what did it do? Okay, it slowed us down greatly when we got into the influence of the moon. Yeah, it's definitely being kind of laggy on me. I don't know why that is. Probably got too much space junk. We do have a fair amount going on in our first 25 episodes. So let's see. Okay, we do... Is that the fastest we can go? No, we can go... Yeah, so that's pretty tight. Yeah, and then the other thing, you know what? All right, now that we're out here, let's just slow it down 1 second more. Yeah, I want to move that. There we go. Like right to the periapsis, more or less. All right, and then let's... Yeah, can we do even more? We should... Yeah, 40 minutes to an alarm. That's right, we just slowed down. We didn't actually stop for the alarm. But yeah, look how close we are. Nice. So when we get out here, we'll do another maneuver that will get us to hit the moon. And somewhere out that way, right? We want to make sure we hit the moon on this side. So this is all sort of working out pretty well. Though I think we might burn a little bit after there to try to hit it over here. All right, there we go. So now let's keep going a little bit fast until we get a bit closer. Let's also take a look at... Yeah, I think we could really do this from the other screen anyway. But let's get the time down to about 30 seconds or so. Yeah, there we go. 20 seconds, close enough. Just make sure we look like we're in good shape. Yeah, you know, before I forget, let's extend these. Just so we don't have to worry about that. And then let's get pointed towards retrograde. And we probably could just do this, right? That would help us. Come on, come back, come back, come back. There we go. Okay, so we're just waiting on the retrograde burn time. Oh, we're at 25 seconds. Uh-oh. There we go. So we're in an orbit. Let's stop spinning. Let's just get this guy to go to SAS. Let's take a look at what we did. Yeah, a little bit tighter than we wanted, but that's okay. So now what I want to do is probably burn like somewhere over here, because it's a little bit different than I was expecting. But we're going to burn retrograde, but we want to sort of take, yeah, see that? Just till that disappears. Now let's go this way a little bit more. Yeah, and I think we might actually burn this way. Yeah, let's bring that around, because we're going to burn. Yeah, see, we would miss it. What are you doing? Yeah, is that going to be... I think that's going to be awful close. So yeah, I'd like it, the periapsis to be there, because that'll give us... I just want to be on the light side of the moon there. Okay, so this should be enough of a burn. Let's set another alarm just to get us, you know, pretty close. We'll set the alarm. Oops, add alarm. And we're going to burn on this target right here, which is sort of like retrograde, and I think they call that retrograde and normal, I think this is. So, all right, let's, how far away is that? 1 hour, good Lord. Okay, oh, that's right, because we have to go way out there and back. That's, should be mostly retrograde more than normal. Yep, there we are. Oh, so we were planning a, oh, what's going on here? Oh, no. Okay. We're actually not theoretically going to hit the moon, but trust me, we will. This was confusing me because it's given us the orbit, but it's the other. I thought maybe we didn't delete the old orbit node, I guess. There we go. We're coming again. So what I'm going to do is, as we get closer, as we get real close, we'll burn and hopefully touch down like right there. If you know, after, hopefully we'll get over this big spot on the moon, and hopefully this area will be a little bit good for landing. All right. Yes. Delete on close. And yeah, I think it's just about a matter of burning, and we could do it just looking at that, but we'll keep it on this mode for now. And we're pointing right at our target, so let's get it a little bit closer. It's only a 0.7 second burn, so we don't really need it to be, we don't need to wait for the next 2 minutes. There we go, close enough. Now what is, 3 would be what we're planning for, which doesn't really bother me to not have it be down to 0, because I sort of want it to be a little bit higher than lower. All right, let's burn. And I'm just going to keep an eye on the actual number up top there. There's 3.3, so, which is pretty darn close to what we planned. So now I'm going to hit F5. So if this gets all messed up, we can come back to this point. Probably should have hit F5 when we were still in an orbit, in case this really goes haywire. But one way or the other, this series and the episode is done. So we're just going to hopefully not kill anyone today, Pajar. Yeah. All right, now the good news is we got a little bit of this rocket left to help slow our descent. And what we want to do is get into retrograde and just really follow the retrograde marker all the way down. So we have a good amount of orbital velocity coming in, and we're going to want to burn that off. Pachar, are you struggling to get us to retrograde? Or you got it? Okay, you got it? Yes, you do. Good job. All right, let's turn off this alarm clock. We got batteries charging. We got these things extended. We got how much delta V? We don't need this thing. Let's turn off or close the flight computer. We only got a tiny bit there, 86. Yeah, so theoretically we should have enough as long as we're good at what we do, which, yeah, okay. We're in trouble. All right, let's fast forward some time until we get much closer. Okay, go on, give me the... Yeah, I think I need to turn it that way. Yeah, 50, let's get it down to about 20,000. There we go. I don't want to be too far off of our retrograde. Let's take a look at the ground below us. Now, we're still like in an orbit, so it's giving me this funny view. Yeah, let's get pointed at retrograde at least so that I can tell where that is. So what we need to do is really cut down on our orbital velocity, so we're not in an orbit anymore. But also we're going to have a lot of like velocity going across the surface when we want to get that down, hopefully pretty close to zero with this relatively large burn. And I think one of the better ways to do that will be to show the engineer and yeah, surface. So we want to get rid of all of this horizontal speed, 600. If we hit the planet at this thing, we would just tumble at 600 miles an hour. So we certainly don't want that. All right, now we're down to 13,000. I think we should start burning at least until the point we stage this. So let's see if we can find a good place to land. I'm thinking right up here. I'm not real good at this, so we're just gonna see what we can do. Yep. So I'm just gonna burn, get a lot of that surface velocity cut down. Wouldn't mind coming down kind of right where we are. Right, get that surface velocity. See how once that surface velocity goes down, we're going to start falling. Well, we are falling, but we're going to start falling straight down. You're always falling with gravity, right? Even if you're sitting in a chair, in a sense, you're falling with gravity. Okay, there we go. Now, what we can do here should be to... Like we want this to be coming straight down, right? And really we're in pretty good shape here. We only have 1 meter per second, but I think if we were to burn like a little bit over here, this way, it should slow us down even more. Not necessarily our vertical, well, let's slow our vertical speed, but see how it's pushing that ball like right towards the middle? Let me cut that off. See how now we're even, like we're in millimeters per second. Oh, no, stay going up. Why are you not SASing me? All right, because we really want to burn like straight down. Now, how far up are we? Yeah, when we get below 1,000, let's hit the brakes. Maybe even 500. Now, we don't want to start going back up because that would be a complete waste of fuel. Now, we don't really know. Yeah, there we go. So let's... Right, we want to come down, but we don't want to sit there hovering too much. So, and I don't really know what our actual altitude. Okay, we're at 300. Yeah, let's get it slowed. we want to be at like under 10. This is going very well. And touchdown. And bounce down. All right. Yes, we did it. First shot. Yeah, so my experience did pay off, right? From having done it before in my life. Just follow that retrograde down until you get going straight down, and then try to do your best to get that yellow ball right on the top. And then just after that, it's a little bit of luck and just, yeah, well, it's not luck, but you just need to do that. Okay, so anyway, let's see what we can do before we try to make it back. Now, how much? Oh, look, we have... Yeah, I think we're going to barely have enough potentially to get back to Earth. So what I might... Well, let's do our experiments. Let's open up our satellite if we can. And let's see, what can we do if we look at our science thing? Many things. Very good. All right, let's extend our ladder, because we will eventually do an EVA. So let's do a crew report and see if we can't transmit that. No usable comms. All right, let's go over to this screen. And mid-orbsat 2, I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, that one seems a little closer. I don't know if it's a good one or not, but let's get back into here and review report, transmit. Yep, there we go. Good. So it's just a matter of telling it to target the right thing, which I did suspect. All right, so good. So we got a crew report. Let's do the EVA report last, but we should be able to do some of these other things. Now the mystery goo, I think we're just going to keep. Or do we... Well, you know what? Let's send one. Yeah, let's transmit the data, and we'll keep another one. So hopefully that'll hedge our bets if Bajar doesn't make it back. Now, I know this is going to be the last episode. There's no way I would leave him up in space, assuming he doesn't end up floating off towards the sun or something like that. But as long as he ends up in some orbit of something, we'll be able to go up and rescue him if we were to have continued the series. So let's just keep this experiment. And can we do log seismic data? Yes, we can. And we will... I think you could do more of those, right? Or no? So can we... Yeah, log seismic data. You might as well keep the second one. Not that I'm sure it does us much good, but log temperature data. No sense in keeping it. We don't get any extra science for keeping it. And log pressure data. Again, no science for keeping it. Surface sample. All right, we could use this fancy thing for take surface sample. Yeah, keep the experiment because... Yeah, okay, we didn't even have to extend that thing for it to work. And EVA report. Okay, let's do that. I think we're ready. Da-da-da. Might as well do it outside of the thing. Oh, and we can plant a flag, I think. There we go. Let go. Hey, look how happy he looks. All right, so let's do EVA report. Keep it. Plant a flag. Site name. First, Reverstan Ian landing. Can we edit this easily, I hope? Yeah. Oops. Yeah, we don't. Plaque text is... Hurrah. I don't know if that's how you spell hurrah. How about that? Hurrah. Okay. There we go. So we put our flag up there. RSA. Woohoo! We have planted a flag on the moon. Now what else can we do? Can we take a surface sample with him too? Yes. Very good. All right. So now I think that's it. I think we came. Yeah, let's see. Can we get a good view of anything in particular? Yeah, there's the Earth. I'm just wondering for like a screenshot type thing. No, not really. The Earth's too high up there. There we go. So we are... Yeah, maybe we just do this. And then I can hit F12. So this, I made some of the things. I don't need to take a screenshot or anything. I can just capture it from the recording. But there we go. RSA flag. Maybe we'll zoom in. Maybe that'll be the screenshot right there. We'll see. There you go. All right, let's see if we can't get back. And yeah, oops, what's going on? Oh, there we go. All right, so let's, hopefully I didn't mess anything else up by hitting buttons. That's pretty good. First shot again. All right, so now, yeah. Yep, board. All right, so we're safely back on board. We've done all the science that we can. I don't think it matters. Let's close this just so that... And I really don't know what the best way to get back to Earth is, other than just sort of point right at the Earth as we go, right? And just hope for the best. You would think pointing at it would be a good thing. So, and I guess, I don't know. I'm just going to point as best I can at the Earth and hope for the best as far as getting back there. I don't really know that we want to get into a moon orbit or that we have enough fuel to really mess with even trying to get to that. But the good news is that even if we were stranded and if I were to continue the series, we have this docking thing which would make it relatively easy to go up and get him out of space. So let's just make sure we get off the planet as our top priority. All right, so what do we want to do? I think we just want to blast off. I don't think there's anything need for a very brief countdown. So SAS is pointed up. Good. 3, 2, 1. Blast off. No, I hit the wrong button. No, really? I hit the A like I normally do for a takeoff because that's the staging. I don't think we have enough fuel now. But we're going to hit A again. Oh no. Okay, no. Go up towards the Earth, sort of. You know, the thing to do may be to just try to get into an orbit, huh? Yeah, let's just do that. Let's burn like sideways now. Oh, we didn't have enough fuel to even do that. Gosh darn it, we really messed up. All right, I hit the wrong button. I'm going to hit F9, which should take us back. I should have hit F5 before we tried anything from getting off. All right, so let me try to land again. I think I'm just going to fast forward this or something. So I'm going to be relatively quiet and just do the same exact thing we just did and hopefully land again. Okay. So I guess I have to do those experiments real quick. Yeah, so let's extend the ladder again. But did you see it went pretty well? So I guess that's the price I paid for hitting that button. It's not, now I've proven I can do it twice in a row. Let's see, what else can we do? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Look, I don't know. I guess where we landed now is a little bit different. So we probably landed a probe in this place, but we'll just do oh wait, we got to do let's do our satellite thing. Yeah, it's really laggy. I don't remember it being so laggy. All right, activate. Let's go back to this screen. Click open this. What was it? Mid orb sat 2. Yeah. And then we should be able to. Yeah. Well, we're not. If we transmit it, we get so little. So let's just keep it and hope for the best this time. All right, there we go. So let's just keep it. We'll bring back as much as we can. And now that we're doing it this way, well, we can do crew report, and that we should be able to transmit. And EVA report and surface sample. So I think I want to try something a little bit different as an experiment. The surface sampler we took last time, and it worked fine. Oh, no, you know what? I guess we do both because then we can do both. Yeah, never mind. I was just wondering if they were the same thing. I think they are, in other words. So let's come down here and do an EVA. And we'll get out of the vessel. And we'll go plant our flag again. And then we're going to hit F5. And we're going to try to get him. Space. Yay. Back again. All right, so let's do EVA report, keep experiment. We could always send it on our way back. And then, yeah, let's take surface sample, keep experiment, plant flag. Yay, RSA flag on the moon again. First Reverstan landing. Woo. Woo. Okay. There we go. So we've planted a flag. I think that actually gives us some. We got our contract completed, even though we didn't get them back. Yep, planted a flag on the moon, gives us a few bucks. All right, so let's get back into our craft. And then once we're in there, we'll hit the F5. Okay, grab. We've got a whole backpack and everything. Looks like a parachute. Board. All right, let's close the doors. And is there any no other science that we can do? So I think we're back to the way we were before. Let's pull the ladder up. Track ladder. All right, so we're ready, and we're not going to hit the stage button. We're going to hit the full throttle button. And yeah, let's put the Earth. Earth seems like it's in a little bit different place this time, which may or may not be good. I don't know. We're going to do our best to get Pajar, though, into an orbit of the moon. So I think what we're going to do is just get, and I want to go around this way. So we're just going to head towards the moon, kind of over this way. But we don't need to be in a high orbit because I think that wasted a lot of the fuel. And this way, at least we know we can recover him. So let's just see what happens. All right. So 3, 2, 1, blast off. Whoa, little lagginess. Yeah, let's get going sideways right away. And let's do 90. I really messed that up. I don't know if this was good. I don't know if we even wanted 90. Yeah, see, I don't think we have enough juice to get into an orbit. Did I not hit F5 again? I don't think I hit F5 again. No, I didn't. Oh, what a mess. All right. I don't even know what to say at this point. I hate to end it on this kind of a note. I hate to land again because I forgot to hit F5 again. Not that I really want to be F5ing it, but I'm not sure that we were actually really as successful if I can't at least get him off to where he could be rescued. Now, he could be rescued, and I guess, well, let's see, we made the mistake of hitting F9 while we're coming back in. Like, if I was still in an orbit, I could say at this point and go back and say, well, let's get some more fuel, which would really help us make sure we could get back off of the planet, because we could somehow potentially link up with our satellite there. But I don't know. One more shot. Third time's the charm. Again, I'm going to be quiet, probably fast forward it. I don't know. Let's get closer to the planet for starters, and then we'll go from there. All right, there's about where we were. Let's get him to go over to retrograde. And all right, I'll be quiet. I'm going to land this one last time, and that's going to be the end of the series, regardless of whether we're successful or not. Okay, I have just boarded and hit F5, so we shall see what happens here. But let's retract the ladder again. Yeah, I'm not sure the best way to do this. Let's look for this. This time I think we're just going to burn right for the Earth. And we're going to hope for the best. And yeah, see if we can't just immediately leave. I think we did a little tiny bit better on the fuel, but I don't even really know that. So I'm not sure the best way to head towards the Earth other than just to head towards the Earth as best I can. So let's go and do 3, 2, 1, blast off. Let's move the camera if I can. Yep, I'm just going to blast. So that's right. It's always opposite of what you think. There we go. Right there. Let's just get ready to... I'm just going to hope for the best. Because I think even if we could just escape the moon's pull, we could rescue it. We're almost out of fuel. Infinity. Yep, there we go. All right, well, yeah, let's just see where we're... Yeah, so we're actually... We would be in need of a rescue mission, but the fact is, as long as... Let's stop rotating. Yeah, let's go back to look at poor Pajar. But Pajar has made it. We just haven't made it back out. So hopefully he's got plenty of peanuts and beer in there with him, because he'll be in there for a while until we could get somebody out there to do it. And again, the series is now over, but the good news is even though I'm ending it, and I know this last episode was an absolute fiasco, it was an honest episode as far as the mess I made. And let's see, we got the contract done of the man-moon landing, and to some degree that was the thing, though. I know we could get someone back to the planet. So as another final thing, let me just see about turning off F2 again, and maybe this will be our screenshot of Pajar floating in space in a rather large and elliptical orbit. All right, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the series. Oops, we don't want to really escape there. We wanted to just get our F2 back. And I hope you've enjoyed the series. And maybe at some point in the future we'll do another one. But expect another different game next week. And if you guys have any opinions on that, let me know. I'm not going to record another episode for a while, or for a few days at least, after you might have seen this one. And then by then I will, of course, having to decide what game was coming next for next week. All right, guys. Thank you for watching very much, and I hope you enjoyed the series and the episode. Take care. Bye-bye.